Welcome back to the Retrocrappod podcast, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by Matt.
Hello.
How are you?
Not too bad. It always feels weird when we record in a new space. Now that we're in the same province and we're able to see each other. And now I'm in the new studio, which is definitely not fully set up yet, but it will be. It's going to be probably our new regular recording space, right?
Yeah, pretty regular.
Come to your place or something, but
well, sometimes maybe.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's exciting.
It's fun.
It's fresh. There's like a fresh new coat of paint on the experience.
I love that.
How it
for
feels.
us.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm psyched to be here in the new space. I'm psyched to be talking about another craptastic film. Or is it? Who knows? It's not even the name of the podcast. It's Craptacular, but you know. Whatever. But before we get to that, is there any other stuff that...
I was just thinking about a summer spooktacular. Just
fuck off.
so good.
And then I didn't figure it out until the last episode. Yeah.
Love it. Anyway.
But I left my shame in the episode. So everyone knows that I fucked up and that I know I fucked up. So, yeah.
Go listen to the previous episode if you don't know what we're talking about.
But before we dive into that, what have you been up to?
Well, I went to a movie theater, and I say that really excitedly. I know they've been open for a while.
Yeah.
But I have not been to a movie theater since Christmas 2019.
Wow, what a disappointing time to go to the movies. I assume you saw Rise of Skywalker.
It's not the last movie I saw, actually. The last movie I saw was the new Mary Poppins.
Oh. How was that?
From what I remember, it was like, yeah.
Okay.
It's like, oh, that's fun. The music is well done.
Yeah.
It's well written.
They got
Lin-Manuel Miranda doing his thing. I like him.
Yeah. I still haven't seen Hamilton, but...
You still haven't seen Hamilton?
I still haven't gotten around
I finally watched it. I was also really late to that
to
that game. I finally watched it, like the one they have on the old DP.
Yeah.
And it was tremendous.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I gotta get around to it, and like I gotta find time that I can like just sit down and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Start to finish. Yeah, cool. But Mary Poppins was a thing. So anyways, what did you see in the theater now?
Oh, right. I got to go and see Shang-Chi and the Legend of 10 Rings. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but...
No, you said it right.
Okay, cool.
I always said, when I was growing up, I always called him Shang-Chi, because I assumed that's how it was.
I assumed that all languages work the same.
Yeah. But it's...
Oh, man. Yeah. It was crazy. You saw it, too.
I did see it, yeah. My girlfriend's grandma took us to see it, because she likes big, dumb action movies. So she also took us to see Fast and Furious 9, which was terrible.
F9?
And I ducked out of the Snake Eyes movie. I had something else up that night, and I was like, I can't make it.
Snake Eyes?
Snake Eyes.
Like the G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
Oh.
They did a Snake Eyes origin movie.
Well, I never saw their reboot of G.I. Joe. I just figured enough of my childhood had been shit on, so I just didn't want to go for it.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I never watched the G.I. Joe cartoons. I briefly played with the toys. I have no emotional connection to Snake Eyes. But anyways, I didn't go see the movie because it looked like a hot, steaming pile of shit. So I dipped out of that one.
In my universe, Snake Eyes was always a bad guy.
Yeah. I think he is a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
I think they're kind of Boba Fetting him. Where they're like, he's a bad guy, but he looks cool, so we'll make him a hero, I guess.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. Okay, so I'll start.
Okay, you go.
So
well,
I think
about such an asshole. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that after Black Widow, there's two sort of things that happened here. I saw Black Widow, which like is I guess fine when you like as a movie.
Yeah,
It's fine as a movie. As a Marvel movie, it didn't really push the boundaries in any direction that were good or bad for me. I enjoyed it, and I have not felt the need to watch it again ever.
that's fair. I feel similarly. I don't care about watching it again, but it was
Yeah.
like, here's another Marvel movie, and I was like, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah. So it was fine. It felt like it was like 3 or 4 years too late. Like they should have put it out like right after Civil War cuz that's when it's set.
Hmm.
But they were still like, "Ugh, women, no." Um and so that happened and then I saw the James Gunn The Suicide Squad like a couple months after that or whenever that one came out. And that movie was fantastic and amazing and original and brilliant and everything I want a comic book movie to be. It had an auteur's voice throughout the entire thing,
Hmm.
right? And so, like, that between Black Widow and then seeing that, I was kind of like, ugh, maybe I am done with Marvel.
Wow, back to feeling like that.
I was like,
We all got there at one point.
yeah, I've been there like 3 or 4
Yeah,
times.
that's fair.
Thor: The Dark World, I was like, oh, they're,
Ooh,
um, but Shang-Chi was enough of a fresh thing for me that I sort of was like, okay, you know what? I'll hang on a little bit longer. I
nice.
want to see what happens with the Eternals because that looks fucking weird.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I'm really interested.
Yeah.
Cast looks interesting. Story seems
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Well, and the director of that movie just won the Oscar for Best Director and Best Picture
Oh, I didn't
at the
know that
Academy Awards.
actually.
Yeah, they got Chloe Zhao to direct this thing. I think she wrote it too. And I'm like, all right,
Sweet. Yeah, on board.
Kumail Nanjiani, I'm down.
And yeah, old Ten Rings. One of my favorite things about it is that, I mean, we just talked about Black Widow. It was like, here's another Marvel movie, and I'm like, okay, thank you. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't crazy or anything.
I'll give you Black Widow. Oh, thank you.
Whereas
Hammer
this
you,
one,
Myrrh.
yes, shut up.
Sorry, I'm doing vines.
Yeah, I know. Um, whereas this one did not feel like, here's another Marvel movie. It
No,
was
it
like,
didn't.
here is a brand new story with mostly brand new characters. And then also, here's the best character from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, yeah,
um, just so you know, so that they could tie everything back to Doctor Strange, because that's
yeah,
obviously what they're
and
doing.
he's fighting with the Abomination from the Incredible Hulk.
I knew that
I
was.
think that's who that's supposed to be.
Oh, I never pieced together who it was.
I think that's who that's supposed to be, but
That's cute.
I could be wrong. But that seems to be the general consensus online was like that was a fucking Abomination.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
yeah,
Really cool action stuff.
yes. So
Really cool.
I did like that. That like because like Simu Liu,
Mm.
from every Canadian will know him from Kim's Convenience,
Every time
which is a little fucking weird.
it's so weird, but like I mean, it happened with the Mandalorian, where all of a sudden we're like, Appa?
Yeah,
In that, and every time I see someone from Kim's Convenience now just getting more work, it just makes me so happy
yeah,
inside.
yeah,
And so as soon as I saw the trailer and I saw that it was him, I just like peed a little bit.
yeah. And it's crazy that he like got that job based on like tweeting Marvel,
Is that true? Is that because I
like kind of like I'm sure but there was that thing going around on Twitter. It was like the bottle cap challenge, where like you have like a water bottle and you do like a kick to just like flick the bottle cap
oh
off or whatever. And he did that, and then he was like, "Hey Marvel, let's talk Shang-Chi," and then nothing came of it. And then he tweeted them again later. He's like, "Hey, so are we gonna talk Shang-Chi or not?"
good for him.
And it got him the job.
That's amazing.
I mean, it at least put the seed in their mind of like, who is this guy? And why are all these people from Canada tweeting us like, hey, you need to put this guy in the movie? But yeah, no, I thought it was good. I mean, I love seeing fucking Tony Leung in anything because I'm a huge fan of like John Woo, like Hong Kong action movies from the 90s, like The Killer and Hard Boiled and
Yeah,
anything with Chow Yun Fat
he's
and Tony Leung.
stupendous. Oh, anything with Chang
They
Fat.
should have put Chow Yun Fat in it. They
Oh,
had Michelle Yeoh
the fact that Michelle Yeoh is now in the MCU, just like,
twice because she's also in the
wait, what?
end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
What?
She's one of
Wait,
the
what?
Yeah, she's one of the Ravager crews that shows up at the end for Yondu's funeral.
I forgot about that.
Me too, until someone pointed it out later. I was like, oh yeah, right, she's in the MCU already. Oh fuck, wait, what does that mean? I mean, I guess those
Multiverse.
characters are probably never gonna meet, so it's fine.
But now I just want them to.
But yeah. Um yeah, I thought it was yeah, great to see Michelle Yeoh. Um my biggest complaint about the movie, honestly, is that it just kind of feels like it has like I didn't have it doesn't have like an artistic stamp on it. It still felt a little bit like directed by committee
Hmm.
to me, which like was the same with Black Widow. Like I didn't really see like hear a director's voice in that movie at all, as opposed to something like The Suicide Squad, which just reeks of James Gunn.
Hmm.
All like his fingerprint is on every frame of that movie and every line of dialogue in that script. And I know Destin Daniel Cretton, he directed Short Term 12. I don't know him personally, sorry. I know of his work.
Oh, we go way back.
We go way back, me and old Desty. No, I know of his work. He directed a movie called Short Term 12, which was like one of Brie Larson's first like breakout kind of roles.
Oh, cool.
It's one of the best American independent films of the last decade. It is truly astounding. Go check it out. It's great. And you know, there's Marvel sometimes lets directors get away with having their voice in it. Like, you know, you think of like Joss Whedon on the Avengers movies,
Mm.
very clearly his movie. Taika Waititi, obviously. James
Yeah.
Gunn on the Guardians movies. You know, there's a couple, you know,
Yeah.
guys that can kind of get their flavor in there or have a flavor in there. And this to me didn't have a ton of flavor.
Hmm.
But as a whole, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. That's definitely one that I would go see again.
Yeah.
Almost.
I do want to see it again too, because I do think it warrants a second watch, and I think that might sort of change my opinion on it
It does
a
help
little bit.
sometimes to further digest a movie with another viewing.
I liked it enough that I was like, I would check that out again, because I feel like maybe I need to unpack it a bit
Hmm.
more. Yeah, I really liked yeah, the action stuff, the kung fu stuff was what stood out the most for me.
Yeah.
It made me like want to go watch Bruce Lee movies.
Oh, hell yeah. Made me want to go watch Crouch Tiger Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, me
Which
too.
also has Michelle Yeoh in it.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, my favorite fight scene ever of all time is with Michelle Yeoh. And it's in Crouching Tiger Hidden Dragon.
When they're sparring?
Where they're in the like fight arena
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And she just keeps going from different weapon to weapon, that she like has mastery of them all, but none of them stand up to the Green Destiny.
Yeah. Okay, she did that fight. Fun little tidbit.
Mm.
She had either like broken a bone in her foot or her leg or ankle or something, or had like slipped a disc in her back. I can't remember which one it was. But she was like dealing with some sort of like huge injury, and she was like, "No, I'm doing the fight scene."
What the hell?
And they were like, "We can bring in a stunt double for you." She's like, "Fuck off with your stunt double. I'm doing the fight scene."
I'm sure that was exactly the way she put it. That's so cool.
Yeah, she's like, "Aang, I'll show you where you can stick your fucking stunt double." Give me the stick with the long sword on the end of it.
Give me all the weapons. Wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool. She's so intense.
she is intense. Yeah, I saw that, and I think that's kind of. I mean, like I've watched a bunch of stuff, but like nothing that I think is worth really mentioning.
Well, speaking of epic fight scenes.
Yeah, yeah. There's gonna be something later that I'm gonna be like, "You idiot! You should have talked about that."
I mean, I can. Do you want to talk about Masters of the Universe? Or?
Oh fuck yeah, we should talk about
There we
that.
go,
I couldn't
yeah.
remember we talked about that. Have you seen
I have now seen the
first 5?
Part 1.
Yeah, that was awesome. I've seen it twice,
Nice.
and then I was like so jacked up for like Masters of the Universe content that I started watching She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
The DreamWorks one?
Yeah, the new one. Yeah, the DreamWorks one. Because I was just like, I need something else.
Need more in this
that
universe.
in that vibe, and I didn't want to go to my parents' house and dig out my He-Man and the Masters of the Universe DVDs. So yeah. Um, what did you think of Revelations? Start there.
Revelations. Well, first off, I love She-Ra and the Princess of Power. I'm just throwing it out
So
there.
good.
It's so
It's
fucking good.
so good.
Blows me away.
Has no business being that good.
No,
Yeah.
Noelle Stevenson had such a vision for it, and she fought for it every single step of the way.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love her. She's brilliant.
What else has she done?
Oh, I don't even remember. First time I
Okay.
saw her was like she was a guest player in one episode of Critical Role, like
Oh,
the
okay.
D&D. That's the first time I ever saw her actually. But then geez, she also like is the author of like a comic online called Lumberjane.
Oh, she did Lumberjanes.
I think that's her.
Okay.
I think so. I hope I'm
I'm
not.
familiar with
I hope I'm
Lumberjanes.
not getting that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's
Want me to
Noelle
look it
Stevenson.
up?
Yeah, look it up.
Look it up
Because
real
I'm
quick.
gonna feel stupid otherwise.
I do like Lumberjanes, and that kind of makes sense because the artwork is sort of similar.
And then I feel like I saw her name on the credits for Adventure Time a bunch.
Oh, yep, you were right.
Cool.
It's a comic book written by Shannon Waters, Grace Ellis, Brooklyn A. Allen, and I'm like, oh, dude, no, you're so wrong.
No.
And then I clicked the actual link. It's like, and Noelle Stevenson.
There we go.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's great, and it's a good cast. That show. Anyway, yeah, Revelations.
Speaking of good casts,
oh man, yes, the cast. I mean, obviously there's Mark Hamill as Skeletor. That's
oh my god,
a thing unto itself.
praise be unto him.
Like, it's crazy. But then, yeah, I mean, the
That
rest
was
of the cast,
like when I heard that they cast Mark Hamill as Skeletor, I'm like, A, that's the most obvious choice ever. B, thank God they went with the most obvious choice ever. C, I have never been more excited for anything in my entire life. I need to hear Mark Hamill do Skeletor.
Oh, and he did such a good job.
He's such an amazing voice actor.
Yeah,
He's so good.
It's incredible.
And
did you see
yeah.
like the after show thing that's also on Netflix now?
Yeah, I did. I watched
a bunch
that.
of people talk about Mark Hamill and how he's just so formidable voice acting across from him, and how he just becomes the character, and it's like a little bit scary.
Yeah.
It's great.
He's done voices in like every Star Wars animated series, I think, too, usually under a pseudonym.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the one where I think they did actually finally publish his name was he did the voice of Darth Bane in the season 6 of the Clone Wars.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Where Yoda goes to Moraband and meets like the essence of Darth Bane or whatever.
Yeah.
That was him, and that was
so good.
So good.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, then you got Lena Headey.
Lena Headey.
That's the name.
Is
Yeah.
Evil Lynn.
That's Evil Lynn. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
She's so good at that role. My goodness.
The only one that kind of bothers me is Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Did it throw you because you just heard her voice?
I just
for
hear
so
her,
many years.
I just hear her voice. It's just Buffy.
It's just Buffy.
It was the same when she was in Rebels, and I was like, "No, you're not the seventh sister or whatever. You're just Buffy."
Oh, see, I haven't seen Buffy nearly as much as you have, so
Yeah.
I immediately recognized her voice, but I was able to put that aside and just hear the character.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
She did a really good job. It was just that was tough for me. To get past. I loved Orko.
Yeah. You know who honestly like had kind of a small role but also nailed it? Was Cringer.
Yes. Do you know who did
Charles
the voice of
Boyle's dad?
Yeah, or as
I forget his real name.
More people might know him as the I believe you have my stapler. It's the fucking guy from Office Space.
Yeah.
Milton.
I feel so bad that I can't remember his real life human name.
I know.
But he landed that so perfectly. Like
so good.
One of the most memorable characters for me. The two most memorable characters from the old cartoon for me were Orko and Cringer.
Yeah.
And so to hear them just like slay those voices, was just so nice.
Yeah. Well, the guy that did Orko. So originally, I guess Orko, was done by the guy who was like the head of Filmation. And they just like put a bunch of effects on it to make it like,
Oh, really?
Put the cat in the bubble, like, doing the like super high voice, because I guess there was like you could have your voice cast do up to 3 roles before you had to pay them extra. That was like
Hmm.
union rules, and so like any additional voices that needed to be done, it was just like that guy under a pseudonym, and then because he just needed to keep it cheap, right? He's like, we got to make it cheap.
Yeah.
The whole thing about Filmation is like, we make animation real cheap. We'll just like churn it out and reuse the same background over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
um, and so they just like put a bunch of like weird effects on it, and so like this guy like went into his bathroom and like practiced in front of the mirror and like gargled with a bunch of weird shit to try and like loosen his vocal cords and like get that like super high.
Wow.
And he did it like all for real. Um,
Spectacular.
yeah, it's Griffin Newman from the Blank Check podcast, and he was the sidekick guy on The Tick. Can't remember his
Oh.
name, but the reboot of The Tick in
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
Um, and then the other like big standout to me, or like I don't know if it's like a standout, but like nailed the casting, was the guy who did the voice of Man at Arms
Oh.
was Sir
Oh.
Davos from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Um.
What an
What a
awesome
voice!
voice.
My
Yeah.
goodness. It's like
You hear
that
that
voice
voice,
is
you're like,
like that's like Liam Neeson level
yeah.
of like
Yeah, like
just
that's the only
amazing
guy you
voice.
would get that would do that better. Would be Liam
Yeah,
Neeson.
that's it.
It's like this guy is a dad, but he's done battle.
Yep.
He's ripped out a man's throat with his bare hands. And
And is a father.
he loves his daughter so much.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It
It's
was
like
so good. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for the back end, man. Part 2 should be coming before the end of the year, they said.
Oh, really? That fast?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's done. They did it all in one go, and I guess they're just releasing it
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes
in
sense.
2 parts,
Good
but
call. Good call.
yeah, it's
Oh yeah, fun
probably
fact by the way, there's I think his character's just called the Moss Man or Moss Man or
yeah,
whatever.
Mossman, yeah.
The big plant person. That's the original
Yeah,
Skeletor, which is just so great that they got him back for the reboot.
they got him.
Yeah.
They got him in, yeah. No, I'm super stoked with how it is, and the animation looks amazing.
Yeah, that studio
I love
is
the episode where they go
on a
to
hot streak.
yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
I love the episode where they go to like the heavenly plane,
Yeah.
Preternia,
Preternia, yeah.
and there's like all the previous He-Men there.
Yep. They're all
They're
just
like riding dinosaurs
ridiculously
and
jacked. It's so insane. It's so over the top.
yeah. And
It
then you
is.
remember like, oh, this was based on a line of like toys for boys in the 80s. So
Uh-huh.
like, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, what's this big buff one's name? Hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
He-row.
He-row.
Hero. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was pretty stoked on how that went. I was like, Kevin Smith doing Masters of the Universe. Okay.
He's a weird guy,
He's
right?
a weird choice.
I'm not, it's not misplaced me saying that. He's a weird guy.
Yeah, like if it was like Kevin Smith's doing a reboot of Beavis and Butthead, I'd be like, well, I mean, he kind of already like Jay and Silent Bob kind of are Beavis and Butthead already, but like, sure, that tracks. But if it, Masters of the Universe, like of all the things, like he's written comic books and stuff like that. He's a huge comic book guy. I love superheroes
Yeah.
and stuff. So if they were like, Kevin Smith is doing fucking, they already did Green Arrow. I don't know. What's a Green Hornet? I'd be like, that's weird, but like, sure,
Yeah.
that tracks. But like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, like,
Yeah.
and then the fact that it wasn't like really jokey or anything at all.
Yeah. Like without, I
I'm
guess
like-
we've already talked about a bunch about it. So like, sorry if we're spoiling for anyone, but like without trying to be too spoilery, really what happens in the first episode
Oh my god.
is that they present He-Man and it begins in the very formulaic way that any He-Man episode would have gone,
Yeah.
introducing you to the characters, but also that's just like it's a very He-Man,
Yeah.
and it just
Skeletor is attacking Grayskull
Oh, yep.
again.
And it just felt like a love letter to the original series,
Totally.
but then they take that formula, flip it on its head, and drop it off a building.
Yeah.
And then it dies, and then you go into episode 2 being like, oh, what's this series about? And that twist is what hooked
Right.
me for sure.
Masters of the Universe revelations.
I was
Not He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe. Yeah, honestly, like I watched the first episode, and halfway through was like, okay, this is kind of like they rebooted the show, whatever. It's kind of fun, but whatever. I'm not that interested. And then episode 1 ended, and I was like, I have to keep watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got me.
Yeah, it is really well done, and I'm like, once again, because like I'm a Kevin Smith fan, and I'm like, the guy does obviously have some talent, no matter how much he tells you he doesn't. You know, he like self-deprecation is definitely a big part of his brand,
Hmm.
and I feel like his later creative endeavors have maybe leaned into that a little bit. Like I couldn't make it in past 15 minutes into Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Oh, I never tried.
I saw that it showed up on Amazon Prime, and I'm like, I'll give it a go. And I was like, no, I can't do it.
Oh,
Yoga Hosers was atrocious.
you told me about that one.
Tusk was amazing.
You've also told me about that one.
Because
Still haven't seen
it
it.
delivers on the premise. If you want to see Justin Long get turned into a walrus, you're gonna fucking see it. It is batshit insane, and I'm so glad it exists. Like, is it good? No, but like objectively, no. But like, is it amazing? Like, yeah, it's kind of fucking amazing.
Nice.
So I think this is like he did a really good job, and I mean, obviously, there's like 4 or 5 other very talented writers on this show. So like credit needs to go to them as well, and obviously to the people that did the animation. But like overall, he needs to maybe take himself more seriously.
Maybe we'll see.
Because I thought he did well.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of people that sorry, go ahead.
You were yeah. I was gonna say, you know what I wish Kevin Smith directed.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be weird. I was gonna say, speaking of people that take themselves too seriously.
That was also good, yeah.
We watched a movie starring the patron saint of the podcast. He's the reason we get up in the morning, and he's the reason that we get down at night.
Oh,
Mr. Patrick Dalton Swayze, our Lord and Savior.
Patrick Dalton Swayze.
Dalton in air quotes.
Yeah, love it.
We watched a movie called Steel Dawn.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was called Red Steel.
That's the video game
starring Patrick Swayze
on the Wii.
It's where you get to be Patrick Swayze with a gun and a sword. That's right, that is that game.
It was the first-person shooter on the Wii. It was like revolutionary because you used the Wiimote to aim,
shoot, and then you also
you could turn your gun sideways and go gangster style.
Yep. But then you also had a sword fight. There were also sword fight scenes where you had to fight with the remote, and it was not intuitive. It was difficult.
It was very difficult.
But the shooting part was great.
Yeah, I remember that game being like great in concept, not great in execution.
Yeah.
Somewhat like this film.
Oh,
Let's jump right in.
Here we go. Red Steel. Red Steel at Dawn. What was it called?
Steel Dawn.
Steel Dawn. Okay.
The text was red. That was about it.
Out of the ruins of a nuclear war, through a landscape of unearthly beauty and unknown terrors, and into a world struggling against the forces of nature and the forces of evil.
I am the authority in this valley.
A legend is born.
You shouldn't play with sharp objects.
The legend of a man with no name and no home.
You like being mysterious, don't you?
A warrior trained in the ancient art of combat.
A man needs his exercise.
A hero for a new civilization.
My father's dead now. He was a commander.
I knew it.
He is all that stands between those who would rebuild and those who would destroy.
Cut the boy's throat.
This is his challenge. This is his triumph. Patrick Swayze is the soldier of destiny.
So you feel safe now?
Yes.
Steel Dawn, the legend begins.
Steel Dawn.
Yeah.
No red in it. Okay.
What was this movie about?
So this movie was about a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah,
in which,
post World War III.
in which the sandstorms have rolled in, and so like it's Tatooine, and
Yeah, basically.
yeah,
I mean, more accurately, it's Mad Max
yes, actually, yes,
in every way.
this is very much Mad Max. It's like Mad Max meets
Oh, look up.
Patrick Swayze. Um, and so Patrick Swayze is the lone wolf who like used to be a soldier in the war, because there was a big war before this. It was a little unclear as to how the war fit in with the sandstorms, but I don't know.
Yeah, so this was like 5 years after Mad Max 2 came out.
A little late to the post-apocalyptic party,
Yeah,
but it was
but like
like
very
the
clear where they got
wardrobe.
their influence from.
Yeah, the wardrobe, the weapons, the hair. Oh boy.
The hair is nuts.
You know what? It is very, very hard to make real life hair look accurately like anime hair is drawn.
Yeah,
There's a lot of it in this movie that's very
there's a
good.
ton of it.
Patrick Swayze has got his bushy curly hair,
Yeah,
but then like an extremely long mullet that is usually done up in one long braid that is not straight. It kind of bends because it's
yeah.
very tight. And I'm like, I've 100% seen this exact hairstyle on an anime character that I can name. Like, it's a really weird anime that I've seen a few episodes of called like Ranma and a Half or something like that.
Oh
And the
yeah.
main character has that exact hair. And I'm like, that's weird. It looks very anime,
Yeah.
and real life anime hair is bad.
Well, his main like antagonist guy has like some pretty
Ooh,
crazy huge anime
super
hair.
spiky, but then also has some kind of long ponytail in the back.
Yeah, his love interest has hair bigger than fucking D. Snyder in the 80s. Like,
It's formidable.
yeah, like there must be some crazy humidity in that desert
Seems like it.
because it is the volume, the amount of product that she would need to maintain that volume, and it's got like a crimp in it. Like, it's just
It's special. It's something special for sure.
yeah,
Probably the most impactful part of this movie was the hair.
I'd say
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's lone wolf, and he fights people in the sand.
It's Shane. It's just Shane.
Yeah.
That's the plot of the movie. It's just he's a cowboy, shows up in town,
Yeah.
and they're like, Shane, we need your help. I think his name is Nomad.
Does he have a name in this movie?
Yeah, well, he's the Nomad.
Right. So yeah, I
Um,
don't think he was ever called anything.
no,
Yeah.
he's the stranger that wanders up to a farm and asking for water, and then they're like, we got a real bandit problem here with the bandits. Can you help? And he's like, sure. And so then he does his samurai stuff, and they
But it's always like
save the
reluctant,
town.
you know. Like,
Yeah,
he's always like, I've put away my sword, kind of thing.
yeah,
Like he is that old like, I used to be a warrior.
yeah,
Now
totally.
now I don't. And then of course,
Never draw my sword on another man. Kind of.
Yeah.
Even though in the opening scene he murders like 9 people,
oh yeah,
they try to mug him while he's meditating.
they really want his backpack,
They really want his backpack.
and they can burrow in the sand. It was really weird.
Yeah, I mean, so like basically, I guess the plot is like he's on his way to this tavern, and then his buddy like ambushes him, and they have like a little like scuffle, like standoff kind of thing, and you're like, and then you find out that they know each other, where they're like, you used to be faster. You know, they get each other at each other's sword point, and it's like, you used to be faster.
You used to have more hair.
Yeah, you used to have more hair. Like, let's go get a drink, and then they're drinking, and he gets poisoned, and then they murder his friend.
Yeah.
Some bandits, or they run the tavern. It's not clear.
Yeah. Yeah, he suddenly gets poisoned and like falls to the ground and can't do anything. And then people pop out of literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm talking barrels. I'm talking the ceiling, under tables, from
Yep.
behind chairs.
Through the window.
And then they don't do anything.
They don't do anything.
And then the one guy,
Yeah, the super mullet.
super mullet, super spiky mullet, comes through the door like a normal person. And then has a duel essentially with his friend. And they're like fairly evenly matched, but then Super Spiky Mullet has a secret shin blade
Yeah.
and knees him, like shanks him with the knee thing. And it's not like he has like that one moment where he gets through his defenses and then he guts him. He actually like prison shanks him, where it's like stab, stab,
Yeah.
stab, and the guy is like, this is really kind of gruesome to watch.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, they murder this old man and then they leave.
Yeah, they take some paper out of his jacket.
Yeah, which I guess is money.
I'm pretty sure it was just his grocery list.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. That's his trophy. He always takes a trophy from his victims, and if possible, it's whatever they were going to buy for groceries next.
Yeah. He's like, the Honey Nut Cheerios will be mine. Yeah, so there seems to be no motivation there. They're just murderous bandits. And then Patrick Swayze decides to go on a long walk to think about what he just saw. And on the way, he meets a dog. And
Yep.
he and the dog become friends. And then they wander up to a farm. It's run by a nice lady who has a weird name that I don't remember.
Yeah, they all have weird names.
Like Zarga or something.
Probably.
And he's like, you spare some water. I can pay. And she's like, you seem kind of sexy. No charge. And then I guess he's like, I'll hang around and do some work on the farm.
Yeah, I think she offers that like right away. Where it's like, yeah, you can have some water. Also, you want to come work? You can live here and eat. And he's like, I like the sound of food.
Yeah. The work. Ah,
Work part sounds like
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna suck.
half-ass it, but sure.
And then he starts living and working there. And then he
Yeah.
learns about
Working and living and working.
yeah, the old...
Taking what they're given because he's working for a living. So.
Shut the fuck up. And then he learns about like the little kind of settlement area. There's like a bunch of farmers trying to revitalize the land, but then there's also, you know, one big asshole who bullies everyone else and has a bunch of cronies.
Yeah, his name was like
then...
Dilmar. No, that's from Santa Claus Conquers the Martian. Dimluck?
Zoltan. I have no idea.
I wish it was Zoltan. They'll have real dumb names. We're gonna need to figure some of them out. Damnil.
Okay.
Kasha. That's the woman's name.
Kasha. Oh, that's not that weird. Like Kesha,
Yeah.
but with more money. Cash.
Kasha. I gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Tight.
No doubt.
No doubt. They good band, no doubt. Yeah, so they have a farm that's on top of a secret underground water spring. And her plan is to build an aqueduct and irrigate the entire valley, and all the farms on the valley will have unlimited access to water.
Yep.
And they can grow crops and it'll be good. But then Damnil is like, I live just outside of town where it's all deserty, and I need my water. Barrels are running dry. I need water in my reservoir. And so they show up one day, and Patrick Swayze's naked in the bath, and he's like, hey, I'd like some water, and I'd like you to come work for me. Patrick Swayze's like, nah, you should ration your water. And then
Imhotep comes at him with a stick.
Yeah, fucking Armin Vosloo's in this movie, which is like the weirdest thing to see.
And he's just a crony.
And he looks exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Crazy.
Dude might actually be a mummy.
Oh shit, untouched by time.
Yeah. Like it's like him and Keanu Reeves. You've seen that paint? There's like a painting of like a 15th century like French nobleman that like looked exactly like fucking Keanu Reeves, and everyone's like, is Keanu Reeves a vampire? It's like, that'd make the most sense.
Yeah. That would make the most sense, wouldn't it?
But yeah.
Because he can like charm people, but you don't really know how.
Yeah. Because he's like weird about it.
Yeah.
It's like, hi, I'm Keanu Reeves, and you're like, oh my god, yes.
And whoever he's talking to is like has that reaction.
Yeah.
And whoever he's not talking to, he's like, who the fuck's that weirdo?
It's like, who's this alien that doesn't know how humans behave? It's like former Prime Minister Stephen Harper.
Oh,
Just like he looks like a robot that's trying to learn to express human emotions.
yeah. That's what happens when you're a robot who's built underground by mole people.
Yeah. It's election day in Canada, by the way. That's why we're getting a little political with the
A little political just because we mentioned a prime minister and then made fun of him.
yeah, very controversial prime minister.
Mm.
Anyways,
No one cares.
no one cares. They're not here to listen to us talk about it.
Even the Canadian listeners do not.
Swayze's got a sword.
Swayze's got a sword that he got from a dollar store.
Put it away. Yeah. All the weapons in this movie look real weird, real dumb.
Like, how did you get the tinfoil that smooth? It looks
Yeah.
great.
There is a bit of that. It does have a bit of a like, oh, okay, so they like made these swords themselves out of like an old rusty tailpipe from a truck and like well, actually no, you know what, they're not even they're not even rusty enough. Like they're all like very smooth stainless steel blades. It's just they look so shittily made.
Yeah, they look terrible. It's hilarious.
It is kind of hilarious. And so yeah, it's basically just like, you know, bad guy wants the water. He comes in the middle of the night and destroys their water pump, and so they go to get revenge on him by stealing his water pump. And every time they interact with the bad guy, Patrick Swayze and Armin Vosloo like punch each other a bit.
Yep.
There's a great thing where they like all roll up while he's in the bath, and they're just like staring at him, and he's like, "What's the matter? You ever seen a grown man naked before?"
Yeah, that was a good line. That was funny.
Because he is in a tub that is like much too small for him.
Oh yeah, he's really like crouched up in it. It's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. But then Armin Vosloo shoves a spear in his face, and Patrick Swayze takes it from him just to prove that he can, and then just like gives it back, and he's like, "Don't play with pointy sticks or whatever."
Yeah, something like that. It was not a very tough line.
It was not a very tough line. Yeah, so just like a bit of back and forth, you know, they hit them, they go and hit the other, you know, they hit the bad guys hit back. Eventually they kidnap the bad guys, or the woman's son. The bad guy kidnaps the woman's son because, you know, they went and stole the pump. Patrick Swayze and this big tall guy whose name is Tark, played by the guy that plays the replicant in the very beginning of Blade Runner. It's like, what's a tortoise? That guy.
What's a tortoise?
And when they get back with it, everyone's like, "Hey, great job, Patrick Swayze," and then like no one gives any praise to Tark, so he's like, "I'm gonna go off and get drunk."
Yep.
So he goes out to town and gets drunk, and then Patrick Swayze goes back to get him. And he's like, "Oh, everyone just loves you so much." And then the bad guys show up.
Yeah, and at this point, they're like, okay, Patrick Swayze's a problem. We're going to hire this assassin.
Yeah.
And it's a super spiky mullet.
That's a super spiky mullet guy who's been hired to kill him. And so, you know, Patrick Swayze's like, "Hey, drunk guy, take the boy back to the farm. I'll deal with this." And they get in a fight, and Patrick Swayze starts losing. And so then drunk guy's like, "Jux, go." Oh yeah, the boy's name is Jux, by the way.
Jux.
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 Yeah, sounds horrible. So anyways, he's like, "Jux, run on home. I got this," and proceeds to wander straight up to the bad guy, raises his weapon to land a blow, and he just gets stabbed in the gut and dies.
Immediately.
Does nothing, and ensures that the child is kidnapped.
Yep. It was real bad.
Yeah.
Because like he's just like, I'm a meathead, and then like they give him the tiniest character arc by him having an emotional reaction to being outshined by Patrick Swayze, and he goes and gets drunk, and then he like kind of drunkenly tries to fight Patrick Swayze, and Patrick Swayze's just like, "Come on, man, let's go home."
Yeah.
Just like me. And it's like, yes, they have that moment. And then they just flush it down the toilet by having him get shanked drunkenly by this like assassin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, come on. You didn't have to go and do Torg dirty like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, of
And
course,
he was
the
the only
boy.
one that had like anything close to an emotional arc.
Oh, yeah.
Also.
That was it. That was the emotional arc. It
Yeah.
was from some side character who dies immediately.
Yeah, and
Classic.
like they're talking about, there's the sexual tension scene where Patrick Swayze and the woman are talking about the pipes.
Oh my god.
Is it that the pipes gonna flow?
Do you think the pipes will hold?
Yeah. And he's like, oh, they'll hold. Like it won't be.
Is it tight enough?
Yeah. Is it tight? And he's like, oh, it's tight. And then they just bone right in the middle of the farm, just right in the dirt.
Just in the sand at night.
Yeah.
And like you were just bathing in daylight and got jumped by a bunch of people. And so you're thinking you're just gonna bone in the sand dunes at night and nothing's gonna happen? That's when they break the
Stupid.
water pump.
Stupid. So the boy gets kidnapped, and Patrick Swayze's like, I gotta go get him. Don't you see? They took him because they knew that I'd come for him. And she's like, oh, yes, good. Well, you'll need your sword.
Oh, yeah, well, for first she's like, no, you can't go. You're in no position to fight. It's classic, like, I'm the warrior, and even though I'm injured, I'm going to go do the fight.
Yeah.
And then, like, the rational character, who's usually female, is like, no, you can't do this. And it was like, that was a very cliche scene. But then, yeah, she's like, okay, if you're going to fight, you're going to need your sword.
I actually didn't mind her character too much because they gave her a couple things where, like, oh, she's actually, like, she doesn't really need Patrick Swayze.
No, she's a boss and she's getting shit done.
Yeah.
She's been running this farm a while now.
Like, she's not the
anyone to
best
help her.
fighter. Like, so she needs him to fight, maybe. But, like,
Yeah,
in terms of,
She's
like...
not a trained soldier.
No. But, like, she's like, I'm going to build an aqueduct and irrigate the entire valley. And he's like, who came up with this? She's like, I did. And he's like, you? She's like, yes, all by myself.
Yeah, and she's like explaining it to him, and he interrupts her to say who came up with this. And I was like, wow, dude.
And she's like, me. And then she's like, really? Like, you? And she's like, yep, all by myself. And I was expecting him to be like, but you're a woman.
That was the subtext of that scene.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, my goodness.
Like,
But
where's your husband? Did he come up with this for you?
Jeez.
Like, there's definitely a bit of that going on. And she's like, yep, I came up with it all by myself. I know science. I know farm science.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about water. Let me tell you how the water flows, Swayze. Flows
idiot.
downhill.
You dumbass.
Where you are. So, yeah. I liked that. And then she's like, oh, you need your sword. It's in the safe. Maybe you should walk into the safe and get it. And he's like, yes, I will. Good job. And then she just like locks him in the safe.
Yeah. So good.
And then rides off to go get her son back.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna be like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Doesn't do a great job of it.
No, but I mean, like, she has to go get her kid. She didn't really.
She
have
has
a
to go get her
choice.
kid.
And
she gives up. This is the part where I was like, ugh, they could have written this a little bit better. She's like, I'll tell you where the water is if you let my son go. And then he's like, slit the boy's throat. And she's like, no, wait. It's on my farm. Like, okay, like, obviously it's on your farm. Like, first of all, like, that's the first place they're going to look. Second of all, like, don't give it up if you're going to do the next part of your plan, which is pull out the secret and, like, throw yourself to the ground and, like, crawl towards me and be like, no, please don't knife my son. And he's like, I like when you crawl. It does me good. Yeah. Good villain line. And then he like goes to help her up, and then she like, I have a secret knife in my sleeve.
Yeah, which was
and,
boss.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and then like holds it to his throat. But it's like, okay, cool, but like, even if you knife this guy, there's like a bunch of other people in here. One of whom has like a sword over your kid's throat. He's gonna kill your kid, and then they're gonna kill you, and then they're gonna be like, so you want to go get the water from her farm? Should we
secret water?
They're like, yeah, secret water.
Secret water.
Let's
get some secret water.
Let's do it.
I bet secret water tastes way better than normal water.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you don't be like, I was bluffing. Here's the, yeah. So
Yeah.
that bit of the plan kind of, I'm like, that was bad writing. You
Yeah.
you lie. You say the rebel base is on Dantooine, and then hope that
Hope that they don't blow up your planet.
yeah,
They will.
they'll always blow up your planet though.
Yep. But yeah, she
So,
gets a knife to him and like demands that they release the boy.
mm-hmm.
And then they release the boy. But the assassin who has the boy goes outside with the boy and then just waits outside the tent. And then she's like holding a knife to the main dude's throat and is like, "Here, let us go. If anyone, like, no one leaves this tent." And then she takes one step out of the tent and the assassin grabs the knife.
Yeah.
It grabs the knife, throws her back in the tent. Like, yeah, that's done.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's why maybe you do need Patrick Swayze.
Yep. And then immediately, Dormammu, whatever, is like, "Go get the boy."
Dilmar.
Dilbert.
Yeah.
Let's go get the boy. And of course, they go to get the boy. And
On this issue of Dilbert goes to get the boy.
oh no, I don't like.
Uh,
But then yeah, they meet Patrick Swayze along the way,
Yeah.
and
They have
actually,
themselves a big old knife fight.
like they go and like, they catch up with the kid, and then they see Patrick Swayze and the dog, whatever.
Oh yeah, the dog like fucks off for like most of the movie, and then when Patrick Swayze's locked in the vault, which by the way, how he gets out of the vault is he just like shoulder checks it a bunch.
Yeah, we see him like trying to dig with the sword.
Yeah.
But then he shoulder checks the door like three
I
or four
know.
times.
We'll dig our way out.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, so they they meet and they have a big old sword fight. And Patrick Swayze gets the shit kicked out of him mostly, and then just like fucking stabs the guy.
Yep. Oh, he also secret knifes.
Oh
the,
yeah,
the main boss dude.
dude gets secret knife. Dilbert gets secret knife twice.
The favorite issue.
Yeah. He's got a little they're like drop your sword, and he's like all right, and then why does he drop his sword? Because they have the knife to
Well, yeah. Well,
someone.
this whole time he's had Kasha,
Right.
and he's like doing the big fight, and then he finally bests Super Spiky Mullet and puts his sword through him.
Yeah.
And then like there's like only 3 henchmen left, and one of them actually does come at Swayze, and Swayze cuts him down immediately. And then the other 2 are like, "No!" and like run away. But then Dilbert puts the knife to Kasha and is like, "I'll kill her." I don't remember what he says.
Yeah,
but
but
it's
he's like, I'll kill her, drop the blade.
drop your blades.
He's like, all right.
So he drops them and kind of he's got the shit kicked out of him, and so he
Yeah.
kind of falls down onto the ground. But then slowly out of view of Dilbert takes a secret knife from his boot,
Yeah.
and then I think she like sees him kind of going for it and has that understanding, and so she like elbows him to put a bit of distance between him and her, and in that exact moment, whoocha, knifes him in the throat.
Knifes him right in the throat. Yeah. And then, she's like, will you stay on the farm? And he's like, no. There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, that's where I'll always be. And every stop I make a new friend.
And then the dog comes and joins him.
Yeah.
It's the littlest hobo.
Yeah, and they go on
It's
to...
the post-apocalyptic littlest hobo.
I would watch that.
Absolutely.
I would watch that show.
Especially if it starred Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Ah.
Yeah. But still get Armin Vosloo. He's not dead.
He will never die.
Arnold Vosloo, sorry. Call him Armand. I don't know why. Not French.
Armani Vosloo.
I do like... Oh, that's a good name, actually.
Write it down.
I might name my firstborn son Armani Vosloo.
Just like give him a completely different last name. It's nothing to
No,
do with...
Vosloo's his middle name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I do like that his death comes around. So like, the boy is running. He gets on this weird, like, what are they, like wind powered bikes? They got like big sails on them.
Sort of. They have like 3 tall
Yeah.
fin sails. It didn't seem like it made any sense.
No. Anyway, so they got these things in there. Yeah, they're
Little sand
little
skiffs.
sand skiff things with like 3 wheels on them. And they're like chasing him down, and that's when they run into Swayze, and there's a big old. The kid tips his thing, and there's a big old punch up, and whatever. Anyways, it ends with Patrick Swayze fucking spearing
But
Arnold
they have like
Vosloo.
a joust moment
Yeah,
in the sand skiffs.
which is cool.
Yeah.
And he gets speared, and then he's like, "I told you not to play with sharp sticks." And he's like, I like tastes like it's kind of funny because like he's speared there and he's not dead.
Yep.
He's like slowly dying, and Patrick Swayze's like, I could say nothing, or I could be a dick. And he's like, I'm gonna be a dick.
Yeah, usually those kinds of lines are to a dead body.
Yeah.
Where it's
This dude's like still looking at him. He's like, oh God. He's like, you're gonna kill me fast, please. He's like, I told you not to play with sharp sticks. Come on, kid, let's go get your mom back.
Yep. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's nope, that's Steel Dawn.
Steel Dawn.
Steel Dawn.
Uh,
Rise of the Steel
the
Dawn.
Vestron Video Classic, which coincidentally is getting released by Lionsgate on Blu-ray next month. It's part of their Vestron
Right.
Video Collector Series.
Well,
So if you listen to this episode and you're like, fuck, I really want to see that, it's coming out in high def, baby.
post-apocalyptic samurai.
I feel like it's going to be worse in high def somehow.
Ooh, yeah, that's fine. Actually, we legit watched this on the VHS.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have to port it or anything. We just had an actual VHS. My VHS player still works.
Yeah, I found this at I think I found it at an MCC in Vancouver.
Nice.
Thrift store. I think I paid like 25 cents for it, something like
Beauty.
that.
That is more than it's worth, I'm sure.
Probably.
We'll see what the Blu-ray costs.
Probably like $30, man. It's like that
So
boutique.
worth it.
It's like the boutique label prices, you know.
Oh boy.
We should start our own boutique Blu-ray label. Release all the movies that we review on this show.
That sounds legal.
Craptacular Films. Well, you got to get the right. This is a whole thing. We'll get a lawyer. It's fine. If you'd buy a prestige Blu-ray put out by us, let us know.
Support us on Patreon at the lawyer level, so we can
Yeah.
afford a fucking lawyer.
$50,000 a month. It's good bang for your buck. We'll send you a free Blu-ray
Yep. Fuck.
signed by us and our lawyer. I don't know.
That's so good.
But yeah, we watched it on VHS, which is like, I feel like that's the way this movie was meant to be seen.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah. So
Watched it on VHS in a basement while like drinking pop. I was like,
Yeah.
this is the right way to
like
go.
if we had ordered pizza
That was-
from
yeah.
Pizza Hut
I was just about to say it. That's the only way it would have been more precise.
and like some Skittles or something, like
Yes.
like 3 things that like shouldn't go together, but somehow like yeah.
Yeah.
So what, any other thoughts, any things you want to bring up about Steel Dawn? It's like you look at the cover and you understand why I had to buy it, right?
Oh, yes.
It's like post-apocalyptic samurai movie starring Patrick Swayze.
I will say it wasn't very samurai. I can see how there was like
He has a sword and a
Yeah,
headband.
okay.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like a western, but the western is also sort of like a take on the samurai movies. You think about like the Magnificent Seven is just a remake of Seven Samurai.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's like,
That's kind of true.
I mean, it's literally true. But
Yes. Right, no, I had brought it back to Steel Dawn. Red Steel at Dawn.
yeah, they are the
Party
samurai and western genre are like somewhat interchangeable. You know, the cowboy and the samurai are sort of
The
It's the
the
same
masterless
yeah.
roaming warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
It's the same archetype.
Yeah.
Sort of, right? So,
A lot of similarities for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I have no more thoughts about this movie.
Yeah, like if you're looking for like you want to watch a Mad Max like movie, but you're like I have seen every Mad Max movie many times. I want for more. And you can't wait for the Furiosa movie to come out. I guess maybe chuck this on. It's not that long, I don't think. How long was it? Did it feel? It's like an hour and
Hour
40?
42, I think.
Something like that. So it's like, okay. Probably could have chopped 10 minutes out of it, cut it down to
Probably.
a
It's
lean
long enough for
90.
you to finish your Pizza Hut pizza.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Depending on the size you order and your appetite. You know.
Should we look up the Rotten Tomatoes?
Should we get some pizza?
Yeah. After this, let's do that.
Okay, Rotten Tomatoes. I'm gonna guess like 38.
Let me tell you if you were correct.
I feel like
I will tell you this: 79% of Google users liked this film.
wow, Google
seems-
users,
Too high. Rotten Tomatoes. Here we are. So what did you say? 38?
38. I get the feeling it's gonna be on the lower side because of the quality of the movie.
Oh God. This is a first.
What?
There's no tomato score.
Oh, just none at all.
There's only been 3 reviews, and I guess it's not enough to put up a score, but there's been 5,000 plus audience ratings. So let's go with the audience score.
Okay.
Which do you want to guess what the audience thought of it?
If there's the audience score, I'm gonna bump it up to like 62.
No, 34.
Oh, what? It was even lower.
It was
Wow.
even lower. Yeah.
Oh goodness, I went in the wrong direction. Wow.
Yeah. So,
Well, that brings us to our rating. What rating do you feel like giving this movie, Aaron? We have a very rigid 3-tier rating system.
yeah, and there's no point in breaking from tradition now. I mean, I hate to do it because I love the Swayze. I love everything he brings to cinema, but like it is one big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
I'm with you on that one. It's one big pile of shit. I was like, it's not funny and bad enough to be one of our craptacular takes, and it very clearly was not just a good movie.
No.
I think it has to be one big pile of shit. Ultimately, just bad.
Yeah,
There were some good moments. That's not enough, though.
No, it's not enough to warrant a rewatch. Like even if, like we had a bunch of friends all together, and they were like, "Hey, should we watch this Steel Dawn movie? Like, let's watch a bad movie together." I'd be like, "Ugh, there's other bad movies we can watch, guys. We could watch Red Dawn, which is where the Russians invade America, and then the high schoolers have to kill them."
Right.
That's a movie. It exists.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. We'll
Isn't that what we just watched?
No,
I'm just kidding.
no,
Red
it's
Steel.
not.
Let's go play some
Yeah.
Red Steel, man.
Let's go play Red Steel. Yeah, you gotta hook up the Wii.
I wonder if I have Red Steel still. I probably do.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be fun. I'd be down for a Wii night.
We'll just have a wee night.
I'll just have a Wii night and a Wii nap.
All right, well, before we sign off, we're going to play one fun little mini game. Are you ready? It's called Beard or No Beard. How do you prefer your Swayze?
Ooh.
Because in this movie, he has a
He has
beard.
a beard, yeah.
But traditionally, you see the Swayze clean shaven.
Yeah, I mean, normally I like my men to be bearded.
Yeah.
But I might go no beard.
I'm with you on that one.
He's got a good chin.
very good chin.
Good chin, good jawline.
And the scruff just kind of obscured, especially with the amount of hair on his head in this movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna
It's
say,
just like his face blended in with the rest of his head and his hair, and then it was like you still see the eyes and you still got the voice.
Oh yeah,
But no,
I was gonna
I'm gonna
say
say no beard as well.
I think if his hair was a little better maintained, maybe the beard could have been a look.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Roadhouse Swayze over Wander in the Wasteland Swayze.
Yeah, cool. Me too. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Well, that's the show.
I feel like it should be a little soundbite that goes, "No beard."
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I have a little. We need a soundboard.
We do need a soundboard.
Yeah, we could become the Wacky Morning DJ podcast. of Bad Movie
Wouldn't-
Podcast.
Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to set up.
No.
Ultimately,
No, it'd be fun, and I could like press the wrong button all the time. Or you'd,
yes.
like going for like sad trombone and accidentally hit applause and like yeah.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'll set up the soundboard, but give you all of the
You won't
unlabeled
tell,
buttons.
you won't tell me what's on the soundboard.
And everyone wants to be like, well, I guess that's a her. You just press a random button. Oh,
Yeah, so that's the show.
that's the show.
Thanks for listening. I don't know, was that like a quicker one than no, it's about the same. We talked about Shang-Chi for a while.
Oh yeah.
And Masters of the Universe. More than the movie, probably.
Yeah, it was at one point where we were talking about Master of the Universe, but I was like, it's been a while since we started, and we haven't started talking about the movie, and I made the conscious decision not to bring it up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is one of those ones where there's not a lot to say, but we're going to be back next month, and it is October, which means we're going to do something spooky. And so we're going to watch Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which is famously the Halloween sequel that doesn't have Michael Myers in it and has nothing to do with any of the other Halloween movies.
The fuck?
Yeah, so originally the idea was Halloween was meant to be an anthology movie, and like every year or so you'd get another Halloween movie that would just be another spooky tale set on October 31st. And so this one takes place on Halloween, and then it's about a witch, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what it's about. Something about
cool.
like haunted Halloween masks, I think, taking over children's brains. Something like that.
Starring Jim Carrey.
And then, but it's weird because Halloween and Halloween 2 are like direct sequel. It's a direct sequel to it. Like it takes place the minute the first one ended.
Right.
And but at the end, Michael Myers, spoiler alert, Michael Myers gets blown up in the hospital, and Dr. Loomis goes with him, and it's like, okay, well, that story's over.
Yep. Now let's do some witch stuff.
Yeah, and it's like audiences were like, well, what the fuck is this? We thought there was going to be more Halloween. This isn't Halloween. And so it's very much like it was like
mistake?
a failed experiment. It's like, I feel like if you had done this with Halloween 2 and been like, yeah, it's just
An anthology.
It's just an anthology. It's just
Yeah.
another Halloween story instead of continuing the other one. Then it might have worked, but
Yeah, weird choice. Weird choice.
very weird choice.
But I'm
anyways,
excited to see it.
yeah, that's what we're doing next month because I figured why not.
Yep.
It's a good excuse to watch it. I've never seen it. Let's get it out
Halloween
of
spooktacular.
the way. Yeah, but
We should get Halloween candy.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll
Nosh on
gorge
Halloween
ourselves on Halloween candy.
while we're podcasting.
Yeah, we'll each have a bucket
Oh yeah.
where we eat too much candy and have to throw up.
Yes.
But yeah,
That'll be a Patreon exclusive.
just all the outtakes of us vomiting. Just 5 minutes of dry heaving.
Our patrons, they get the worst shit.
No, only sometimes. Speaking of which, we have a Patreon. You can subscribe for like not very much money at all. Just do it.
Yeah, not much.
And it helps us do the I mean, we do it for just do it. I don't know where
It would be nice
yeah.
to put a little bit of money into the show.
Into the show for sure. Maybe we wouldn't have to talk about it so much at the end of the show.
Currently setting up a new studio. I do need to get a
Yeah.
few things.
And we pay for hosting services, and I spent a whole quarter on this fucking movie, so but like in all honesty, I do have like a stack of DVDs that I've bought like specifically for the podcast because I've been at like
Yeah.
a thrift store and been like, well, that looks like shit. I'm gonna get
More
that.
than we'll ever get to.
Yeah, we could do this podcast for another 10 years, or we'll have to start
Hey, if we get enough patrons, we're gonna start churning out more episodes though.
That's another thing. I would love to do more than one a month.
Maybe we should have like a stretch goal or something.
I think we do
Or
have one.
how does that work?
Yeah, there's stretch goals on there. I gotta go back and look at it. Sign up. That's the point. What We love you. And we're on all the socials, I'm not going to do it. We got a link tree. It's linktr.ee/retrocrappod. All the links are on there.
Boom.
Go to it, smell it, click on it. It'll smell like whatever your computer smells like. It's the internet. It's digital. Doesn't have a smell.
What does your computer smell like?
I don't know.
You've never smelled your computer?
Probably whatever I spilt on it last.
Oh.
Like purple slushy.
Oh no.
Yeah, so all the socials are on there. We have an Instagram, and speaking of all the junk that we buy for the show, and not just junk, but we're gonna be opening like an Etsy shop where we will sell not just the stuff that we bought for the show, but then also just I collect a lot of media, and sometimes I upgrade something from DVD to Blu-ray, or from Blu-ray to fancier, more expensive Blu-ray, and it's all in really good shape, good working shape. So we're gonna be opening an Etsy shop. It probably will be open like by next month, but I ran a poll on our Instagram. Hey, would you be interested in buying some of our old stuff? And it was 50-50.
That sounds about right.
And so I was like, well, fuck it. I'll do it, and I'll see what happens.
Kind of depends on what it is, really. Right?
Yeah. So I've got like a stack of stuff that I'm looking to sell. Some of it's stuff that's been featured on the show. Some of it's literally I upgraded to a fancier Blu-ray or a DVD to Blu-ray upgrade or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe I'll throw Steel Dawn up on there. You can get the VHS tape that we watched.
We can sign it.
We could sign it.
Or like just write a note in it. Be like, hey, idiot.
Hey, watch this with love. Retro Craptacular podcast.
Well, on the front it'll say what you watching, and on the other side in all caps, watch this.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's funny to you and me and no one else.
Yep, that's correct. That's what this podcast is, baby.
So that's a thing. Keep an eye out for that. That will also be on the link tree.
Ooh.
And I think we've got
bookmark that link tree.
Yeah, I've got an Instagram account separate for the shop as well. It's called the Retro Shoptacular. And then I'm just gonna post photos of all the stuff that's up there, and maybe I'll do a thing where it's like, hey, this is gonna be going up on Etsy in a couple of days, but if you want it, DM me here, and we can skip the Etsy fees and stuff, and just pay through PayPal or whatever. Handle it that way. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do like a giveaway to announce that. Maybe we'll give away Red Dawn. No, Steel Dawn. Now you got me doing it. Damn it. Maybe we'll do a giveaway.
It'd be fun to do a giveaway. I've never done a giveaway before.
Neither have I.
Maybe it'll feel nice to give something away.
We'll have to figure it out. But maybe that'll be how we announce the shop. Seeing as how I only spent $25 on this VHS tape, I feel like I'd be comfortable giving it away.
I demand recompense.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? Sell it for 50 cents? Anyways, 50 cents and then like $6 in shipping. Like,
yeah, for real.
Who wants that?
Womp.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the show. That's where you can find the links. Next month, Halloween season of the Witch. It's coming to a close, man. The show is almost done.
What are we wrapping up?
Well, for the year.
Oh.
I
thought you were like, we're gonna do the Halloween episode, and that might be it for the Retro Craptacular.
No.
I was like, should we talk about this?
No, this show's coming to a close.
This episode.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this episode.
I feel like this episode could have ended about 15 minutes ago.
Probably. I really should be going home. Okay. I'm much later than I told my girlfriend I would be. That's all right. So anyways, that's the show. Thank you. Much love.
Indeed.
Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. If you have a Patrick Swayze movie you want us to watch, email the show, retrocrappod@gmail.com. Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe we won't. Who knows?
Probably will. Until
next time, keep watching crap. Get vaccinated. All right.